Wow. Okay, hey, I think we're back live. So if you don't know, we had a little gust of wind. I guess I should say the camera went flying, the boxes went flying, everything went going, and I went into full panic mode. And I cannot wait if that got on video. We're definitely going to try and send that in to somebody, but I was scared for a moment. Okay, listen, we're going to try and get through this before we get another wind gust in here. But like we kind of said, I mean, hey, this is a big night for Royse City. It's a night to celebrate what the Bulldogs have accomplished all year. Nobody picked them to do much in this district, much less win the number one seed in Division II in this district. Now here they are. They have an opportunity to take a step further. Just James, your thoughts on just the entire year so far.
It's really been awesome. Of course, every team has their ups and downs. And but I'm gonna say this year's been a lot more ups than downs, and this team, I said this Wednesday, and I'm super proud of the team and the coaches and everything that's happened this year, and I'm really excited for tonight. You guys were just talking about don't change anything up. Don't be surprised if you see some passes tonight, because I was just listening earlier today. When we were here at the pep rally.
Don't give that all the sauce.
Don't be surprised if you see a little something tonight.
Well, listen, the wind is super strong, as you could tell if you were watching a little bit earlier. We went off air all of a sudden. That's because we had a big old gust come through. But listen, if you're heading down, down this way. This the wind's strong. You can throw some balls up. That speed of Jonah Roberson, let him go.
Well, I mean, it's the southern wind. I mean, pretty much. So, I mean, if they're going left to right, they've got that opportunity. They're going the other direction. It's going to be short passes or something like that. But a lot of times in games like this, the coaches are preparing for run. And what will happen is the kids get in their mind, run. And then all of a sudden you're playing in a cover two, and you forget that you got two guys on your side that are both going deep. You got one man covering both of them, and it becomes a problem. So I could see us doing some things like that because we are such a power running team. That type of pass will definitely open it up for us.
Yeah, I'm going to put up a graphic really quick, cover up my mug, and just kind of show some folks what the deal is tonight. Here, let me move it on this side so I can cover myself up. Brandon, you might want to move over. I don't know. But this is it right here. So by the numbers, Royse City, they've a total offensive yards. They've just about 200 more yards. Sacks on the year is where Naaman Forest is going to have the advantage. And then the defense, the points allowed. Brandon kind of talked about it earlier. Listen, this district is probably not the strongest. They're a competitive district, amongst each other. But, I compared it the other night to, this is 9-6A does not want to see the teams in 10-6A right out of the gate. Just like 10-6A doesn't want to see 11-6A when you're talking about Duncanville, DeSoto right out of the gate. It's just a tough matchup.
So bad the other night when y'all were on. I was texting back and forth wanting to get on, but this is why. Rockwall was in that district, right? And Rockwall was in that district when Tyson was in 5th and 6th grade. And we're going to football games, and Rockwall's beating people 70-0, 78-2. 78-12. It was crazy. So I'm not saying that the district hadn't gotten better, but just trying to keep it real. There's a lot different talent in this district than there is in that district, and that's why some of those stats on there are there. Sure, you're going to get a high sack percentage when you're playing against an offensive line that can't block, or you're going to get more yards passing when you're playing against somebody that doesn't have good pass coverage. But when you come in this side of the district, there's going to be problems with all that, and I'm excited to let them go head to head. I think stats are key. Stats are great for coaches to look at. Stats are great for kids to get promoted. But I can tell you this, somebody from Naaman Forest running 2,000 yards versus somebody from Rockwall running 2,000 yards, the one running from Rockwall is going to get the look.
Yeah,
Royse City, Rockwall.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Rockwall Heath. This district has some dudes. If you're running 2,000 yards in this district, you're a dude.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, they do have some players. What we talked about the other night, the quarterback, and they got a defensive end that's highly recruited. He's got some stars next to his name. 6'6", big kid. He's easy to pick out if you look out over there. He's the tallest and biggest kid out there. They're gonna have to watch some people but this is a game that there's a lot more talent on this side, and this is a better football team They should win this football game, but they got to do it early, because if they start letting this team believe a little bit and the wind kicks up and crazy things happen, it's cold, you don't want to be in that position.
Well, their quarterback likes to throw. He's not a runner. I mean, you can see it
Morales,
you can see it on a tape.
Coach's son.
Yeah, I mean, he's a thrower. He grew up being a quarterback, meaning he was going to throw the football, not I'm going to run the football.
Yeah.
And so that's probably the reason they're talking about some throwing too, because they're going to throw the football,
Well,
I guarantee you.
And he's a sophomore, so we got to keep that in mind. He's young. I think they're gonna get that ball to Cunning, their running back, a lot. He's a big kid, 200-plus pounds, and he's going to try to pound. He's not real tall, but he's going to pound the rock. And but you know what? I think our linebackers are ready. Like I said, I saw the guys today. Super excited for them and what they're going to do. And like I said, I hear a lot of chatter back there as they're warming up. So
we got about 36 minutes to kick off. We'll probably go for another 10 minutes or so and just get you guys ready for the game. But any thoughts about anything that concerns you tonight?
I would say gamesmanship stuff that a lot of people don't realize in the cold. We can kind of go through. One, wind is a factor. We talked about that from the passing game. But what about from special teams? I mean, if you're kicking into the wind here on a punt, a lot of people are like, hey, if you're on your 40, you should probably punt. Well, I'm not so sure in this game. You punt, you only get a 15-yard plus. You might want to go for it depending on down and distance. The other thing is the cold and the wind makes your hands very, very brittle. So there's going to be a turnover today. There's going to be a few drop passes. There's going to be some juggling opportunities, and Roy City needs to come out on the other end. I'd say 2 hands on the ball, staying secure, not a lot of spinning. I tell backs when I coach backs at all, I say, hey, in a cold game, we don't want to do the spin move, okay? Spin move is not here for cold games. Yeah. It's a little bit of a juke stick and a little bit of a hit stick, but we're not doing any of the spinning and all the free fly stuff, because when the ball gets away from the body in this cold and wind, it can get loose.
I got a question. I talked about their defensive lineman, Marcus Deal. He's a 4-star. I mean, this kid's got offers from Georgia, TCU, Oklahoma, Texas, Arkansas. I can keep going. He's got 41 offers, 6'6", 290. He plays all around the defensive line. Brandon, do you think, as far as scheme and strategy, are you just running away from that guy? Or are you just saying, hey, we got to take him on, we got to double him, triple him, we got to take his legs out, whatever you got to do?
So there's 2 schools of thought. The one school is exactly what you said, and I'd say probably 70% of America believes that. My thought is you run right at him if he's a good backside chaser. So if we're running plays and he's able to chase us down with his length, or at least his jump off, his speed, his get off the line, running away from him doesn't help. So you might have to double team him at the point of attack. You might have to chip block from the H-back to set the edge. You might have to chip block from the inside to do a kick-out block so we can run the off tackle. Yeah. But I'll say you got to go at a guy like that. And you also, if you do go at him, it will frustrate him bad. We have an option opportunity out there as well. If you watch the Cowboys game in the last few weeks, what they've been doing to number 11 as our defensive guy, right? Our boy is incredibly great. I'm not comparing this guy to him at all. But what they're doing is ISOing that man, put him in a situation where he has to make a decision, and it's very hard for a big guy to make the tackle in 2 separate lanes. And so I feel like running at him is the key.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't forget one other factor. It did rain today, so we got to make sure the guys can keep their footing on the slick turf at least until they get started. But, yeah, you're absolutely right, and I think you don't just run 11 at him. You make him take on several different ones, and it's probably going to wear him down a little bit too. And once that happens, and once you hit him enough, it's cold out here, like you said. So once you hit him for a while, he's going to start feeling that as that game goes on, and we start wearing him down.
Yeah, and I think another player to watch for Roy City is Ja'Cory Williams. He's a junior wide receiver, and he's electric. And in that Heath game, he got past the defense more than a few times, and they missed him. Yep. And listen, that was cold and rain, but that's a kid that is going to be special, and he's going to be recruited on wide receiver position.
I believe that was his first game back too, wasn't it?
No, it was his second
game back. So I mean, he had been working his way back and was already ready. So
yeah,
I can imagine a lot of teams probably aren't game planning for him per se.
No.
I mean, we might be telling them on live right now that they might want to look at it, but at the end of the day, he is a guy for sure, and something to be watched out for.
Yeah, absolutely. We got about 32 minutes to kick off. Just some final thoughts before we kind of break away and get ready for the game. Again, I mean, this is the night. Win or lose, I mean, you got to celebrate the season, right? But you got to feel that this is a game that Roy City feels like, hey, we can win this one, and then talk about start looking at next week. But I really think that they got a great opportunity to just keep pushing forward.
Yeah, our senior night wasn't that great. The kids didn't get to walk the field after the game, and tonight, maybe we're replaying our senior night. It's a special season, special night, playoffs. Look, we got to hold on to the ball. We need to minimize the penalties, and let's pound their heads in the ground, and let's get some pressure on their quarterback. And if we can do that, I think we're going to be okay.
And I think early adjustments are key. I mean, we already know what we think they're going to do, but in a football game, many times, they scout themselves nowadays as much as we scout them, meaning that electronically, when they put things in the video monitor, it kicks out how many plays you run left, how many plays you run into the boundary, how many plays you run outside, on 3rd and 6, what's your go-to. So they get all that information just as we do, and sometimes they use it to their advantage. They're saying, hey, on 3rd and 2, we've been running QB power. Well, maybe 3rd and 2 today, QB power isn't even a play in their book. And so you have to make adjustments early to catch up with that. And if we do, I think we're going to be on a roll.
Yeah, look for the Bulldogs to just have a big night. I think, again, you're running to the north end of the end zone. Look, we're just running the ball, pound it. You mentioned it earlier, special teams is going to be crazy, especially when you get to that 40-50 yard line and you're talking about punt situations. Is it worth it just to go for it? Because, I mean, you could get some net.
And you're not kicking a field goal that way, I don't think.
No, you're not. You're not. I mean,
extra points, we might go for 2.
Yeah, and then I think when you see it going this way, I think you're going to see some deep balls and let it fly. Okay, I think that's going to do it for us. Hey, we appreciate everybody hanging with us and tuning in. Some people are starting to roll in. The rain is gone. That's good. It's a little cold, but hey, that's football weather out here, and we ask that you guys come out, support. It's going to be a fun night. Again, got to thank Henley, Vice, and Dilbeck for supporting this law firm. They're supporting our pregame show. We'll be back at halftime. We're going to kind of break down what we saw in the first half. Hopefully everything's going really smooth for the Bulldogs. If not, we're going to figure out, we'll see if Brandon, the other professor, we got a lot of professors on the show. Can figure out what's going on. Okay, have a good night, everyone. Tune in. The game, if you're not able to make it, it's on NFHS. You do have to pay to watch it, but that's where you're going to be able to see it if you want to watch it online. Otherwise, pack up, get out of here. You got 30 minutes till game time, so we'll see you guys at halftime.
Let's go Bulldogs.